Good morning. I'm calling to order the City of West Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for August 6, 2025. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. My name is Keith Davis. I am the Special Magistrate appointed by the city to preside over today's hearings. Please silence your cell phones so they don't interrupt our proceedings, and that'll be appreciated. First thing, if you're going to be speaking to me about any of the items on our agenda this morning, I need your testimony to be under oath, so I need to swear everybody in. If everybody will please stand, raise your right hand, I will swear everybody in together. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony at today's hearings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can all have a seat. If you're a respondent or here on behalf of a respondent, when your case is called, if you'll please come up to the podium over to my right. The way I'll proceed is that with each case, I'm going to hear from the city first. The city will present the case through testimony of its code enforcement officers or other witnesses. There may be documents or photographs that are part of the record, which will be displayed on the monitors. You have an opportunity to see those. Once the city has concluded its presentation and made any recommendations to me on how it believes the case should be handled, I will then come over to you. It'll be your opportunity to ask any questions of the city's witnesses. Simply tell me about the case from your perspective. If you brought additional documents or photographs that you want me to consider, that will be the time to produce those. And once I've heard everything and seen everything from everybody, in all likelihood this morning, I will enter an order that resolves the matter. So we have a sign-in sheet, or we're going to go in the order that folks signed in. Okay.
Okay, first case number 16, 4200 Half North Terrace Drive 2, CE 25053510. Number 16, 4200 Half North Terrace Drive 2.
Good morning. I wasn't sworn in. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's swear you in. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You can begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Good morning. Code Officer Kay Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While patrolling in the area, I observed several violations at 4200 North Terrace Drive. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on May the 5th of 2025, citing the following violations. The property was cited for 78-6-6, numbering correctness, which has been complied. 94-453-B, maintenance of non-conforming areas, which has been complied. 18-106-M, maintaining landscape, which has been complied. 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view, which has been complied. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, which has been complied. 18-106-B, excessive growth, which has been complied. 94-445-4-I, prohibited trees, which has been complied. 94-446-2-C-3, tree abuse, which has been complied. 94-446-2, the landscape maintenance. 22-32-A, certificate of use required. 94-442-C-1, landscaped areas must be grass. 78-94-C, swells and parkways. 94-442-E, landscaping of swells and parkways. 22-441, rental license. 94-71-C, outdoor storage. 94-446-2-E, edging, and 105.1, failure to secure a permit. The notice of violation was posted on the property and City Hall on July the 15th of 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 15th of 2025, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on May the 8th of 2025. Certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2025 and observed the property still in violation of 94-446-2, 22-32-A, 94-442-C-1, 78-94-C, 94-442-E, 22-441, 94-71-C, 94-446-2-E, and 105.1. Reinspection photos were taken showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case file. I have spoken to the property owner who is working to comply all violations. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Anything further?
No,
Okay, nothing further from the city special magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs presented, and the case file to be taken into evidence as the record, please.
The testimony and the photographs are part of the record, and so I know you went through this twice, but there is such a long list, and you were not going in order, so I did my best to keep up, but I'm going to read through all of the code sections, and I'd like you to tell me if it's complied or still in violation, because I couldn't keep up. So 18106B is complied.
Yes.
94442E is still in violation.
Yes.
18106A is complied.
Yes.
94442C1 is still in violation.
Yes.
I missed 94453B.
That's complied.
Thank you. 94445
Complied.
4-1 is complied.
Yes.
105.1 is still in violation.
Yes.
2232A is still in violation.
Yes.
94446 2C3 is complied.
Yes.
18106M is complied.
Yes.
7434A1H is complied.
Yes.
9471C is still in violation.
Yes.
7894C is still in violation.
Yes.
786-6 is complied.
Yes.
Okay, I missed 94446-2,
94.
landscape maintenance.
I'm sorry, hold on, I'm trying to see where you are. 944462, you said?
Correct.
Or 2E. Okay, 2, yes, landscape, the rest of them have not been complied.
And 22441 and 944462E violate, or,
Yes.
okay. All right, I'm caught up now. So there's been quite a bit of forward progress on this one.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir, let me get your name and address into the record, and then the floor will be yours.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Scott Adelsberger. I'm the owner of 4200 North Terrace Drive. I have on that property a cottage that was where you see the address here that says 4200 and a half cottage.
Okay.
That was the legal registered address. I was informed as part of this violation that that was not a valid address. I was given the number of somebody to contact with the city that's apparently in charge of giving you addresses. They said, well, actually, it is a valid address, but the county and the city got together for emergency services, and they can't see half addresses. So I had to get a new address, which I have done. That was complied.
See, I think that's one of the ones that's complied.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give you why the address is
Sure,
different.
understood. Thank you.
So as to some of the violations that I know are still outstanding, one of them, I don't understand the outdoor storage. I think that she said I wasn't in compliance of because I took all the stuff away. But the swales are not done right now. They've been cleared, they've been cleaned, they've been leveled, but I'm being required to get a backflow preventer so that I can put in grass, and then I can put in a sprinkler system. I have evidence that I've applied for the backflow preventer with the city.
Yes.
It's been, a few weeks, and I'm just, I can't make them go faster than they go. I do have an additional concern that I would like to voice on the record, that one of my swales is directly across from the elementary school. I have sodded that 4 times in the time that I've lived at this house, but it's a parking lot every morning and every afternoon, and they kill everything I plant.
Is it like drop off and pick up cars pulling into the
All day long.
off the road?
All day. In fact, sometimes they even park in my parking lot, and I can't get out of my driveway to go to work until they come back. Yeah, not ideal, but I have attempted to come up with ideas. You know, putting in some railroad ties, putting in little stakes with some chains, putting in some bigger trees. I'm not allowed to do any of that. So I have emails that are on a flash drive if you want to see them, but you know, I've been in contact with everybody, and weirdly, my swale is under the control of Parks and Recreation, which I thought was strange, but that's who's in charge of it. And you know, they've even said, you got a problem and we don't know how to solve it. I'm not allowed to put anything there. Having said that, I have sod ordered. I can show you the text message. You know, I don't know how I'm going to water it until I get a sprinkler, and I can't get a sprinkler until I get the backflow preventer. But that's all in process. I'm attempting to do all of that.
Okay.
The other thing that's outstanding was a building permit for a wall that's a divider wall in my cottage. Again, I have paperwork right here to show that I've started that process. You know, whether I'm going to end up moving forward and getting that permit or just removing the wall, it's going to depend on what the cost of all those processes are, and I'm trying to obtain contractors for that purpose right now. So those are the big items that I know are outstanding. I believe I should be in compliance with most all other things. Again, like you, as you read all those numbers and letters, I can't really follow along that well. But I know that I've made due diligent effort to do all of this. When I talked to the permitting guy or the inspection guy for the building for the wall, he told me to ask you for 120 days because he doesn't know if they're going to be able to get a permit back to me in 60 to 90 days and didn't want me to run out of time. Again, I may not proceed with that. Depending on the cost, I may remove the wall, and I'm in discussions of what it's going to cost to remove the wall. It was a house that was originally built as a 2-bedroom. The wall was on the original plans, but I built it for my mom. She had cancer, and so I brought her to live with me. And that particular 2nd bedroom never had a wall because she decided when we were at that point in construction, she wanted a bigger living room. She didn't need a 2nd bedroom. She was one person. So we never put the wall in. The wall got added later because I had tenants, and I have applied for my permit for rental license. I've paid for that, but I can't get it until the wall's taken care of, which I understand. You know, you got to do step A before you can go to B, but I am attempting to comply with everything as best as I can.
No, I can clearly see that like I said, there's been quite a bit of forward progress. Okay, so can you show me, Mr. Adelsberger raised a question about the outdoor storage. Can you show me?
I'm sorry, yes, sir. And in reference, before I forget, in reference to the backflow, that was issued on yesterday, just so you know.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Haven't even heard that yet,
Yes,
so thank
sir.
you.
In my reinspection photos, there's all those bags of whatever's in the bags that you had
Where?
out there yesterday in your driveway.
Oh, that's brand new because I cleared the property again, and I'm only allowed to put 3 bags out for the city to pick up.
Right, but that's what that's in reference to.
Okay, now I understand.
Yes, sir.
That's a new issue. That was not an old issue. That was a yesterday issue.
They didn't show us?
Because this weekend I was cleaning up the property, and you get 50-gallon, you know, the big black trash bags. Unfortunately, the city allows you to put out 3 bags.
Okay.
I could put out a pile of trash from me to her if it was sticks and branches, but if I put it in a bag, I get 3 bags, which is from me to there. And I have like 10 bags. So yes, those bags are in my driveway. They will be removed. I just have to arrange for the city to do that because I can't put out more than 3 bags. So that, she is correct. That was not right yesterday. That was a new thing, though. That was part of moving forward with cleaning up the property. But that will be removed. So absolutely, I'm not in compliance with that. That's a new issue, not an existing. I had 50 bags that I removed. I have a giant banyan tree there, and it loses leaves that could cover this auditorium in a weekend.
I see. All the code sections that deal with landscaping, is that all
Mostly
the
for
swale,
the-
is that all in the same swale area?
Well, it's mostly for that, but it's a little covering the other, and some of it, like he said, will be rectified once. Now that he has the backflow, he has sprinklers there, but to get it all connected, to get the sod down, then a lot of that will go away.
Yep.
But it's all connected together.
I have two swales. I'm a corner property, so I have
Yes.
two swales. I have the one on the side that is the school, which is what keeps getting driven all over, and I have pictures of that. And then I have the one along the other street, which is 41st Street. They don't park on that. They park next to it where there's a big sign that says no parking, but they're not in my property. That's the section that has sprinkler that we put in, which is why I was told I need a backflow preventer. So I haven't been using the sprinkler because I don't have a backflow preventer. But apparently I just got approved for that yesterday or today or
Yeah, I
whatever.
looked this morning and it was approved.
Yeah, because I
on the
looked
5th.
the other
Shoot,
day
on
and
the
it
5th.
wasn't. And I'm like, eh. So that's the big stuff, is the two swales. And again, I can show you a text message. I'm in communication in the last several days, again, with the sod company. They're waiting to get me sod. And I have to have two different kinds of sod because where the school is requiring a different kind of sod.
So, I mean, here, my concern is is this area where you're constantly having cars parking
Right.
in that grass, and, you know, based on your testimony, you've tried to come up with multiple solutions, and they've all been shot down.
Yep.
So let me ask the city, where do we go
They've
with
had him in
this?
touch with our landscape planner and everyone that's over me to try and come up with ideas. Also, we have reached out to the city complex to put more signs, to kind of stagger signs so that there's, no room for them to like pull in, which we still waiting on that. But other than that, I did, the solutions that he brought up or we tried to bring up, we were told that he could not put that in that area.
Yeah, the frustrating thing is that I'm being held accountable, but I'm not empowered to do anything. So, like, you won't let me protect the grass, but I have to put it in. And honestly, the next question is going to be, once I put the grass in, how do I water it? Because I'm not allowed to have a sprinkler system in the city swale. So that's going to get interesting as well. But we'll get that one worked out when we get
Well,
to it.
yeah.
I mean, I can show you pictures. I'm sure she has pictures from like a higher up level. And you can see it.
Some of the pictures are not coming through for some reason. The ones that I took yesterday, which shows a tremendous difference in
Okay. Yeah,
of the property.
So you can see in reference to the school is what I'm trying to say. And again, I have that on a flash drive somewhere.
All right. And you're asking for 120 days to bring
That's
in?
what I was told by the building inspector guy that she had come over to the property.
Okay.
Even that, there was a delay in. I was waiting for 3 or 4 weeks, and when they showed up, I didn't have advance notice. I had 10 minutes, and I was at work. But I immediately got with him. That was a Friday, and I was with him on Tuesday morning. And he came out, and he inspected it, and he said, these are the things you need to do. I did them as far as not the wall, but I had to take down a ceiling fan, put in a light. That's all got done. He said, ask for 120 days, because he says, if you ask for 60 days, I can't tell you you're going to have your permit back. And I'm like, okay. Again, I just found out that the backflow preventer's back, and that's been in process for, 45 days.
Okay. Does the city have any objection to 120 days?
No, sir.
It seems,
I mean,
I
the sod's
never
supposed to be
want to set,
delivered.
I don't want to set you up for failure.
I'm sorry,
The
what?
last thing I want to do is set you up for failure.
Well, exactly. And I mean, listen, some of those violations, without question, violations, I get it. I got it. I didn't know my address was wrong. I had to remove a tree that was illegal. I didn't know it was illegal. I've been there for 20 years with the same tree, but I was told to, and that was down in 48 hours. So I do want to comply. I'm just a little hamstringed by having to rely on others.
Man, 120 days will put us into December already. That's, time flies. So I am gonna do the 120 days.
Thank you.
And that's what we're gonna call that December 10th.
Yeah, I hope to have most of this done within the next 2 to 3 weeks, other than the permit.
Well, but so let me go through what I'm actually finding here, though.
Yes, sir.
First, anything else from the city?
No, sir.
All right, so there's proper notice with the notice documents in the file. Mr. Adelsberger is present at today's hearing. Here's what I'm going to find based on what I've been presented with in terms of testimony and evidence. I will find that the property has complied with 18106B. That's 18106A, 94453B, and this is all based on the city's testimony that these were complied. 94445-4-1, 94446 2C3, 18106M, 7434A1H, 786-6. And I don't know how you want to. I am not going to find you in violation today of the issues in the swale area where you're having to deal with the parking.
So
And that's I'm not finding.
4 is outstanding. I still have to address that.
No, there's still going to be things I am finding.
Okay, yeah, that's what I got to figure out, is like which ones
Right. So
that
but
I'm making sure I get it done.
I'm not gonna, so the problem is you're on a corner lot, so
Yes,
you
sir.
have a swale that doesn't get affected by the pickup and drop-off parking.
Well, the one that's on the side street,
Yeah.
you know, again, I'm a corner like this, so the school's over here. The one along the school, which you can see right there, I mean, look at all the tire tracks.
Yeah, no,
That's the
yes.
swale. Now, it looks better than that. It's very clean right now. But that's the swale. Those are tire tracks. There's cars continue. It kills I've thought it 4 or 5 times. And every time I do, and you mow it and you get to do all those nice things, and then it gets destroyed.
Well, I'm not gonna find you in violation of that. I think that you and the city need to sit down and figure out a solution to that. If you've offered to, put up no parking barriers of different, and
I mean, I even
that's-
did the little concrete triangles.
Right, and I understand a
And
lot of
they got crushed.
places have code that doesn't allow those for safety reasons,
Yep.
but, we're not gonna solve that one here this morning, but I'm not gonna find you in violation of that, based on what I've heard. It sounds like you've done everything you reasonably can think of to do.
And it will be sodded probably next week. Now I just got to figure out how to keep. Well, good news is the school's not in session quite yet, so
Yeah.
nobody's parking
Starts
on
on Monday.
it. Oh, is it Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's right around the corner.
I teach at a college. We don't start until September 2nd, so I don't know when the elementary school starts. I know when it starts because when I go to leave my house, I can't figure out where my driveway is.
Okay.
Which actually, I like the school. I don't have a problem with the school. I have a problem with the drop-off.
All right, so the findings of violation I am going to make are 105.1, which is the building permit for the wall,
Okay.
and then 2232A, which is the certificate of use.
Now, can I ask a question for clarification
Yeah.
on that? Ms. Weaver, the certificate of use is the rental license, right?
They go together.
Okay, so that's because that's in process. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm using the right term. So, okay, that's in process. I got it.
Yep, and then 22,441 regarding the business tax receipt. Those are sort of all attached to each other.
Okay.
Because I don't think you'll issue the business tax receipt
Nothing
until you
until
get
the
the
wall.
certificate of use.
Right,
So
and
they're
I
all-
can't do that until we take
And you're not
care
gonna
of
be able
the
to get those until the building permit issue is resolved.
Absolutely.
So, business tax. And then, 9471C regarding the outdoor storage. But it sounds like that's getting resolved as well.
Yes, sir.
So for landscaping, the landscaping, and there are a few photographs I believe I saw that are outside of that swale. For those, and that's, we're talking about 94,446.2E regarding edging, 94,446.2, just general landscape maintenance.
Yeah, all other landscaping but the swale should be complied.
And if it's already complied, they just need to come out and take a
Oh,
look
yeah,
at
yeah.
it, and
Well, no,
and
she's
that'll be
seen it.
that.
I think she said those things were complied. Those were all complied. I know with all the numbers, I mean, one of these things, there's 3 or 4 numbers for the exact same thing, which confused me to begin
Well,
with.
let me ask City. So 94,442E is landscaping of swales and parkway. 94,442C1 is landscaped areas must be grass.
Yes, there's some areas outside of that swell that needs to be filled in with grass or appropriate. And
That's outside of the school drop-off.
outside of that side. But even with that side, I understand that the grass and it's the issue, but that side needs to be maintained because there's a bunch of trash and debris and everything. So that has to be continually maintained. That's not coming from cars parking.
That's the other side.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
so I guess that's
That's
what.
the swales, well, like this weekend, while the bags are in the driveway now, we picked up 40 different bottles and cans
Yeah.
from that swale. So unfortunately, I keep trying to maintain that, and it will be maintained moving forward. But that's in compliance. I mean, that's not out of compliance. It's in compliance now.
So here's how I'm gonna, and I don't know, the city may have to customize this order. I'm not sure you're gonna get it right now, but.
Yeah, no.
For-
I'd like a new list of this is what's left, and I know the big ticket items I know, and they're being worked on. As I said, I can show evidence of those things.
So basically, the ones I already said was the building permit 1051, certificate of use 2232A, business tax receipt 22441. The only things left have to do with landscaping, which is 94,446.2E for edging, 94,446.2 general landscape maintenance, 94,442C1 landscaped area must be grass, and 94,442E landscaping of swale and parkway. For the areas that are not in the swale, like in the picture we're looking at right now, where the cars drop off and
That
pick
is the
up.
swale. That is one of the swales.
For
Oh, I'm
other
sorry.
areas, for not that area.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm gonna find the landscape violations to be in violation, but not in that swale. You guys need to figure that one out. I'm not gonna,
All of the other landscape is complied, I
and
thought.
so again, that may be so.
Right, well, I'm just wanting to be sure. So that
They'll
I
need to
can
come
fix
out
it.
and inspect it and put their eyes on it.
Okay, I thought she said they were complied, though. That's what I'm trying to
No.
clarify. What's
No.
not complied on the landscaping, Ms. Weaver? Other than the swales and the grass?
Or everything that he read.
Well, why don't you go ahead and let's show the pictures for.
They're not coming up. The reinspection photos are not coming up.
Can you just verbalize it for me so I have a clue on
Everything that he said.
Okay.
Did you check off the ones that I read that were complied?
No, because I didn't have a pen until just now. This lady let me borrow one. And I'm not worried about what's complied, I'm
I
worried
can
about
meet-
what isn't complied, so I can make it
Why don't you,
complied.
I can meet with him.
here's what I would like to do, though. Why don't you put on the record verbally where on the property the landscape issues exist other than the swale where the cars are tearing up the grass and
Grass,
dropping
there's
off.
2 swales and there's grass for
Like I
both.
said,
Explain everywhere else on the site other than that.
the property is a corner lot. You have North Terrace Drive and you have 41st Street. Everything on 41st Street is not complied as far as, because there's some areas that need sodding as well.
Okay, that's one of the 2 swales, and again, that's gonna be sodded.
So, if I may, Special Magistrate, is it complied, sir, or not? I think you
No,
both
well,
are saying the same
that-
thing. She's saying it's currently not complied, and you're saying
Correct.
it is going to be complied.
Well, yes, he was mentioning swales, so I'm trying to suggest that there's 2 swales, because it's a corner property.
And
Both are not grassed at this moment. Both have grass coming at this moment. Both would benefit from a sprinkler system that I can't use or put in until I get my backflow preventer, which apparently was just approved yesterday. So, no, it is not in compliance, I agree.
Correct, and that's what
Those-
we're getting
well,
at.
and that's all I needed to clarify, because if it's the grass, that's grass. If it's a landscape issue other than grass, I don't know what that is, and that's what I want to comply with. So if it's grass, absolutely, yes, I know. And in fact, I have to have 2 different kinds of grass. I got one over here and I got one over here.
So we have identified that's not in compliance currently. You may proceed.
Right.
Thank you.
Let's see. Everything that's not the landscape, which that covers, some of these codes coincide. So that's where you're seeing, it may seem like it's redundant, but they coincide. So that's the big issue, the rental license, the outdoor storage, the parkway and swell, which we've just discussed, the certificate of use, and the landscape maintenance. That's what's in the building,
Rental license, building permit for the
building,
wall.
the
Yeah.
permit, right.
Okay, so basically I got a wall, I got grass, and I got to remove the bags from my front yard. What I have outstanding. I mean, it may be under separate codes, but those are the outstanding issues. And yeah, I'm addressing them. I'm moving forward with them.
I mean, basically what I'm trying to do is give you a break on the swale where the cars keep pulling in and tearing it up despite your best efforts. I mean, I'm carving out, but otherwise I'm finding the violations to exist.
Well,
But I'm
yes.
giving you, but I'm carving that out. I'm not finding you at fault for that because based on what I've heard, and I've heard nothing to counter what you've said, you've done everything you can think of to try and solve that, and it keeps, your proposed solutions have not been accepted, and so.
And the second swale that she was talking about on 41st that needs grass, again, grass has been ordered.
Okay.
Um,
Well, and you have
know,
120
and I
days,
can't-
so you
and I
got till the
can't-
beginning of December.
Like I said, this should be done in 2 to 3 weeks.
Very good. So,
But building permit,
no, I understand.
outstanding.
Okay. All right. Are we clear on the order? Any other
Yes.
questions, sir? No, sir. All right, and then just the only other thing to put into the record, if compliance is not achieved by December 10th, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved. All right.
Thank you.
And, stay in touch
Oh, absolutely. I
with Ms.
email,
Weaver
I text
so that you
message,
guys
I
can work
leave
through
phone
this
calls.
offline as you go through. All right,
Appreciate
but
it.
thank you very much.
Number 20-1801 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, CE 25043439. Number 20-1801 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard.
Good morning. Officer Forestier, West Palm Beach, code compliance. This property was cited on 5/20/25.
Could you speak up a little bit louder, please?
Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on 5/28. In addition, both property and the city was posted on 6/23/25. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. This property was cited for 94-446-2-C3 tree abuse. 94-4462B3 hat racking. This morning, as the property has not been in compliance, therefore the city is asking for additional 120 days to obtain tree alteration permits and city arborist plan for rehab to come into compliance. If the do not come in compliance within that time, the city is asking for $250 a tree and replace the tree, which is about maybe 100 trees that were hat racked.
What was the I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last thing
It
you
was
said.
about 100 trees that was hat racked.
Is that $250 one-time fine or until the
Each tree,
each tree?
And how many trees is the city alleging were hat racked?
105.
Pardon me?
There was 105 trees total.
105 trees were hat racked?
But the arborist came up with a plan, is working with the owner on a rehab process.
Yeah, Your Honor, if I may, we've come to an agreement, Ramsey Bulkley, on behalf of the client.
Go ahead and, before you start, let me get your name and
Ramsey Bulkley,
yes, sir.
on behalf of Tanger Outlets or Palm Beach Lakes LLC.
Thank you.
We've come to an agreement on where we've, with arborists, et cetera, and so I think we're in agreement with the city's recommendations.
Okay.
And this is a case number 20 and number 23.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's two different parcel control numbers, so it's case number 20 and 23. They are the same.
So is,
Do we need to call that case now as well?
Number,
are you wanting to call both
That would make
cases?
sense, yes.
Okay,
number
we can
23
get it
for
on the record.
1821 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, CE 25043441.
Good morning, Officer Forestier, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. This property was cited on 5/20/25. Service was accomplished by certified mail on 5/28/25. In addition, both the property and City Hall was posted on 6/23/25. I have been in contact with the owner, and this property was cited for 94-446-2-3-C-3, tree abuse, 94446-2-B-3, hat racking. And this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for additional 120 days to obtain tree alteration permits and apply the city arborist plan for rehab to become into compliance. If they do not come in compliance, then the city is asking for a fine of $250 each tree and to replace the trees.
And is both property combined 105 trees total?
Correct.
Okay. And the representation here is that there has been an agreement reached between the city and the property owner, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes,
And
correct.
do you believe 120 days is a reasonable time to rehab
Yes.
the property?
No, sorry, not to rehab the property, but to get the alteration permit. The
Yes.
rehab is going to take way longer than that.
Yeah, if you go to the arborist plan, it's 120 to get the actual permits, the alteration permit. But then there's a rehab plan for the additional trees that are on the property.
So compliance means that in no longer than 120 days, which I think we're calling December 10th, the arborist's plan will be finalized, approved, agreed upon, and permits will have been applied for.
Correct. And then also the agreement extends, I believe it's 3 years after the fact. So it's continual maintenance of those trees that were damaged.
And so the arborist plan will include a going forward maintenance program,
Yes, sir.
which will be agreed
Yeah,
to.
that's part
Very
of the
good.
order.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sarah, is there anything else that you'd like to tell
No,
me?
just thank you for staff working with us.
Okay, anything else from the city?
Not at this time, except we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs presented to be admitted into the record as evidence, please, barring any objections.
Yes, the testimony and the city's file with photographs and other documents that were testified about at today's hearing are part of the record. City has proper notice in both cases. This will be for agenda item 20 and agenda item 23. I will also find, based on the testimony and the evidence, the properties remain in violation as cited. I will grant the relief requested by the city, which, as represented, has been is the result of agreement with the property owner. Okay,
Correct.
very good. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Number 29804 Selkirk Street, CE 25063737. Number 29804 Selkirk Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 24th, 2025. Certified mail was sent out June 24th. It was signed and received on July 1st, 2025. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on June 24th, 2025. The affidavit of posting mailing is notarized and completed. It is attached in the case files. This property was cited for Code Section 94-482A regarding the required off-street parking. The front yard was completely paved and did not meet the required landscaping. Florida Building Code 110.3 and 105.1, failure to secure building permits and required inspections for the pavers in the front yard, and a gazebo that was in the front yard as well. As of Monday, the gazebo and the pavers have been removed. We're just waiting on the front yard area to meet the requirements, which is sod or approved landscape planted in the front yard area. I have had constant communication with the owner. I met her at the property. We discussed all the violations, reviewed options to comply. She's been communicative and gives me regular updates. And like I said, the remaining issue is 94-482A. The owner expressed she needed additional time, so she's here today to ask for that. But the city is recommending 60 additional days to comply with the remaining violation, or we're asking for a fine of $100 a day.
Okay.
And you believe 60 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Under normal conditions. I'd like to hear what she...
Oh, you have not been able to discuss what the...
She has circumstances that may...
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further. I would like to request that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs be admitted into the record as evidence, please, Special Magistrate.
Those items are part of the record. Yes, ma'am. Let me go ahead and,
I'm going to speak for my mom. She's hard of hearing, and she misplaced her hearing aid. So I'm also going to be communicating with her so she wasn't hearing what everybody was saying.
all right, so if you can tell me your mom's name and then your name.
Okay, her name is Damaris Bacallao. My name is Isabel Moreno,
Okay.
and it's for 804 Selkirk Street.
Okay, you can go ahead.
So from what my understanding, so I could tell my mom, is we're asking for an additional 60 days so we can put the sod in and the grass.
Yeah, the sod or approved landscaping in the front yard area,
Okay.
where the pavers have been removed.
Okay, so he's saying 60 days, so is 60 days enough time to put the grass in there?
60 days.
Yeah. Okay.
So are you asking for, the city's recommendation was to allow 60 additional days for compliance. Are you in agreement with that, or are you asking for 160 more on top of the?
I was just asking her if she thought she could do it within 60 days,
Okay.
and she said yes.
Okay. I have no objection to allowing
I'm
the
sorry,
60
she,
days.
she misunderstood me.
Okay.
Nada más 60 días.
No, is 60 days enough, or do you need more than 60 days?
Yo necesito tiempo,
Pero ¿cuánto?
como un mes más o algo así.
That's why 60 days is 2 months.
Dile a él que yo cuando hice eso ahí, yo lo hice porque yo no tenía para estar pagando agua y para estar pagando hierba. Y por eso hice eso ahí, que yo nunca supe que eso no lo podía hacer.
Okay. She's saying that when she put in the pavers, she was not able to afford the landscape because several times we've replaced it and it kept dying. And she was not able to afford the water bill with the sprinkler system. But she's saying 60 days is, she believes, a sufficient time to put in the grass.
Okay. Let me ask the city, so sod gets put in, does the city's code require irrigation system? Is that gonna be part of this, or is it just?
It's not part of this. That's more for a new build, where that code section is applied.
So it's not a requirement.
The sprinkler system is not.
Okay.
Like I said, you could get the
Just-
drought-resistant, like Bahia sod,
Okay.
that
Okay.
flourishes during the rainy season.
Okay.
But it has to be maintained alive, and if it all dies, that's
If
gonna
it,
be
if it
another
dies
problem.
and it's bare, then yeah, you would have to replace it.
You just need
But
to
if
get
it's
it
like
please.
dormant
That's what
and
kept
yellow,
happening.
yeah.
All right, as long as you all understand that and everybody's in agreement with 60 days, I will do that.
Okay.
Anything else, ma'am, that you want to tell me?
Sorry?
Anything else that you
I'm
want?
asking, give me one second. What do you want me to say?
Ok, yo no hice eso nunca para un parqueo.
Sí, pero él no dice que es para parqueo.
Eso lo era para...
She's upset because she thinks you're trying, not you and specifically when I say you, but she thinks you're trying to insinuate that that was an extra parking spot. Nobody ever parks on there. There was never an issue about us parking there. Although on that street, we're the second house to the stop sign and there is a yellow line and there's constantly parking. So in reality, we don't even have a place to park. So we've never used it for that.
So, and I'm looking at the code section that's been cited, and it does talk about off-street parking, but it also requires 75% of the front yard to be landscaped with living plant material like grass. So that's where it comes. There is a provision in that code section and I think that's
Yeah.
really what we're talking about.
Yeah, I've never witnessed parking on that. I'll
Right,
say that
so
on record.
No, but what I'm saying is even though there is street parking, the yellow line is almost up to our house. So if you pass that yellow line,
Yeah.
we have code enforcement every day giving out tickets. So we really don't even have a place to park. So that's what she was trying to say, is that we weren't trying to use that for parking, although we don't really have street parking
Okay.
because of those yellow lines.
Understood. All right. Anything else, ladies?
No.
Anything else from the city?
No.
Okay. We have proper notice in this case. Respondent is present. City has proper notice documents in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I will grant the relief that's been requested by both the city and the respondent, which is 60 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved. So you want to make sure you hit that 60-day mark so you don't have to work.
May I ask one question?
Yes.
So after the sod is in, do we have to come back here again?
No, you don't have to come back here, but you need to reach out to Mr. Pezmina so he can come out and inspect it and take
Okay.
a look.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And stay in touch with him
Okay.
throughout this process.
My mom's been staying
Yep.
in contact.
Very good. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5, 5824 58th Way, CE 25053532. Number 5, 5824 58th Way.
Morning.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer Paul McFarland. On 5/8, the property at 5824 58th Way. A rental license inspection was conducted and violations were found. First violation was 105.1, failure to secure building permits for the shower changeout. Rental license violations due to failing the inspection, and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 24th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent May 13th. Certified mail was returned. However, the owner is present. City's requesting that a permit be issued for the change out of the shower. The owner has been trying to get those permits issued, have been running into some issues and delays. Not sure what type of conflicting information she's been getting. So with that being said, city's gonna recommend 120 days to either present a letter from a building official stating that no permit is required, or obtaining the permit will take care of the failure to secure building permits. Once those permits are issued, it will in fact comply the rental license inspection, and then the rental license can be issued. If that's not obtained within the 120 days, city is recommending $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, thank you. So has she applied for the permit?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so, and you believe 120 days is a reasonable time to obtain a permit? Or are you asking for the 120 days to apply for a permit?
No, for it to be issued.
To be issued, okay.
Yes.
And can you explain a little further regarding the letter that would state no permit? I've never
Because
heard
she's
that.
stating that she's getting conflicting information from the building department, which is not gelling with me. So I don't want to discredit what she's saying. So I'm giving the opportunity to present the proof.
Okay,
So if she can get a letter from a building official stating that a permit is not required for changing out that shower, then I'll honor it as compliance.
and is the property owner in agreement with the proposal of to your knowledge, 120 days for the permit to be issued or the letter?
That's what we're trying to get to today.
Okay, but there has not
Has
been.
not
an
agreed to
agreement.
anything today.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
All right, thank you. Yes, the record contains the testimony and the case file. Ma'am, go ahead and put your name and address into the record, and then the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Alba Marzo. Property address is 5824 58th Way, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33409. Can I approach your magistrate with some docs that I
Yeah,
want
go
to
ahead
look
and
at?
show Mr. McFarland first, and then I'll be happy to take a look at what you have.
May I inquire, Special Magistrate, what the documents are being presented?
Yeah, you guys take a look at them, and then
Okay. This so just receipts to fixtures that were bought.
That's why I inquired, Special Magistrate. I don't know what the relevance is regarding receipts of fixtures, if this is what is being presented.
Well, the case that I'm trying to make is that per the West Palm Beach codes, the cosmetic changes that I did on the bathroom did not require a permit. I didn't change plumbing, I didn't change electrical, I didn't change anything structural. I didn't add an extra sink. Everything was cosmetic. I retiled, I replaced the vanity with the sinks, the faucets, I replaced the toilet. Everything is cosmetic, everything stayed in its own place. The valve for the bathroom, and that's the point that I want to make, is it's a original builder, it was a Moen valve, and that was not replaced. If you look at the receipt from Wayfair, it tells you made to match tub and shower trim kit. It was all cosmetic. So nothing that I did in the bathroom required a permit.
Okay,
The only thing I was not able to get a receipt for was for the vanity and the toilet, because I did this over several years, and Home Depot only keeps purchase history for 25 months. So I wasn't able to go farther than that. But I printed out the vanity that the property has and the toilet.
Okay. And other than the vanity, this reflects the work that was done.
The only thing missing is the tile, which I bought at Lowe's, but it's the same thing. That was the first thing I did, was the tiling. And then we bought the vanity, and then we bought the toilet, and then the last thing was a shower glass enclosure.
Have you had communication with the city's building department on the issue of the requirement to get a building permit?
With the building department, no. I came to get the permit thinking that it was gonna be, you know, a quick thing. And when I got there, because I was trying to lease the property, I was told that I cannot do it as an owner-builder,
Okay,
that I had to get a general contractor.
because you
And,
rent the property?
To rent it or sell it, because if I do it as an owner-builder, I have a 2-year
That's correct. It-
penalty time or whatever.
All right, so am I understanding correctly that you came to the city hall to get an owner-builder permit and you were denied an owner-builder permit?
No, I wasn't denied. I was told that if I
You
do
did-
an owner-builder, I have a penalty that I cannot sell the property or lease it for 2 years. So the best thing is to do it with a general contractor.
Right, I understand the owner-builder law. I know how owner-builder permitting works. So my question, I guess, let me start with this. Did you come to City Hall to apply for an owner-builder permit?
Yes.
To do this work? And the city would not give you an
Oh,
owner-builder?
no, hold on. Not to do the work, not before the work. After he came to do the inspection to get the occupancy certificate, the certificate of occupancy, that he gave us the violations, that's when I came to City Hall to get the permit, thinking that it was going to be something, you know, relatively quick and simple. That's when I was told that for me to, well, you know, I already told you.
Okay, I guess let me just cut to the chase. Mr. McFarland testified that that somewhere along the line, somebody said something that planted a seed in someone's mind that perhaps a building permit is not required at all. I'm trying to figure out where that
No,
information
I'm
came
saying that a building permit is not required
based on what?
based on the West Palm Beach codes. Let me pull it out. Give me a minute.
Tell me what code section you're looking at, and I can pull it up as well.
Well, I don't have the specific code sections, but it says typically following, you do not need to get a permit, which is interior walls, painting interior walls, toilet change, vanity change, sink faucet change, or retiling.
So again, tell me what you're looking at.
I'm looking at a search that I did online. And then specifically for the county or the city of West Palm Beach codes, again, this is something that I got off of the website. When are permits required for new constructions, additions or alterations, demolitions, major repairs or replacements? And for the major repair or replacements, I have the section 18-35, technical amendments. It says that if it's a big repair, reconstruction, or rehabilitation, it has to be more than 50% of the appraised value in 5 years, which none of that applies either. And then the specific code that I'm getting, that we got cited for, which is where is it? Not getting the permit for the failure to secure permit. That's the point I'm trying to make, that nothing that we did in the property as homeowners required a permit. It was all cosmetic.
Let me do it this way. Let me ask Mr. McFarland, what is the city's position on whether you've cited a violation of 105.1, failure to secure a building permit? What is the evidence that the work that was done requires a building permit?
Okay. The way I approach these type of issues is if it has been changed from its original state, the city requires a permit. We don't know what was done there because the work has already been done. So this is the difficulties we have with these type of permits, these type of violations when we find them. So typically, we tell people to obtain either a remodel permit or after-fact permit with a contractor so that the city has documentation that whatever was done there has been permitted. Some type of demo was done there to take out the old shower to put in the new shower.
Some type of what, I'm sorry?
Some type of work was done there to take out the old shower to put in a new shower. So, city will request at least a remodel permit for changing out the shower. And this is not the first one I've come into contact with. It's an ongoing issue within this neighborhood. And I can't turn a blind eye to it when I do my rental inspections. So this is why I'm only requiring her to have the permits issued to move forward. Now, if she's claiming that she doesn't need a permit, a building official will need to state that in writing.
But the city's trying to shift the burden to the respondent to prove that they don't need a permit. If you're going to cite someone for a code violation, it's your burden to prove that they do need a permit. So I'm not buying this burden shifting thing. That's not the way
Okay, I'm not shifting any burden.
Yes, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're
Okay,
trying to make
I'll withdraw that. I'll go ahead and withdraw that, sir. So based on what I observed, this is not the original shower. So a permit would need to be obtained for whatever work was done there for changing out the shower from its original state.
May I say something?
By all means.
If you look at the last page on the packet that I gave you is pictures, or do you still have the packet? I'm sure you don't have the plans in front of you, and I would need to do some research to find the original plans, but nothing was altered. That shower comes with that little surround. It had a shower door before, a shower enclosure. Everything is in its place. Nothing was changed. So yeah, we retiled it over the old stuff. Nothing, I didn't take off the floor. I didn't put in a new pan or whatever. It was done how it was. Just gave it a facelift.
Why is nobody from the building department here to tell me how the building code applies to this? That would be incredibly helpful. I'll be perfectly honest. With the evidence that's in the record, I'm not finding a violation on 105.1. Nobody's told me anything that establishes by the greater weight of the evidence that a building permit's required for these things that the testimony shows were actually done. Clearly the city doesn't know, or, the original position about given the option for the building department to issue a letter that a permit's not needed would never have been offered up if you knew a building permit was needed. So.
May I say something, Special Magistrate?
By all means.
Okay, thank you. Just for clarity and for the record, my understanding from Mr. McFarland is to accommodate the respondent in giving her the benefit of the doubt without, I guess, her saying to him this morning that she was maybe the miscommunication was you understand she was told she did not need a building permit.
Correct.
And he thought she was told by our building department, which in fact, in now fleshing out the testimony, she has in her own research determined that a building permit is not necessary. I do not think the city was trying to shift the onus on the respondent to say that there is not a building permit needed. I think the miscommunication occurred where Mr. McFarland was trying to give professional courtesy in saying if she was told this by some city official, she should provide some documentation of such. At this point in time, if we need the building official here or a building representative here, the city would request for this to be reset or tabled for us to get all the code in addition for testimony. Again, this is usually citation that we have done before. If the inspection occurs and the code enforcement officer and his expertise of looking at these for years see that there was some modification, some altercation done to the bathroom without a permit, that's where the citation is triggered.
But nobody has put any nobody has told me definitively what Mr. McFarland saw requires a building permit. If you're going to bring me a case and try and get me to enter an order that somebody has violated the Florida building code, I need evidence that the Florida building code was violated. You haven't brought that to me.
Maybe
You said I saw some things were changed and maybe they need a permit and maybe they don't. That's not, I don't know what you expect me to do with this. I'm at this point with what I've been provided. I'm certainly not going to find that this respondent's in violation with the testimony that's been put in the record at this point.
And the city's understanding of that, Special Magistrate, may we revisit the photographs just for a second, please?
Well, there's no question that things were done. That's not the question. The question is, did that trigger the Florida building code permitting requirement?
Here it is, the shower. So again, in the receipts that I submitted, you realize that they were not a complete shower faucet kit. It was a replacement. Specifically, it's titled, is it called Made to Match Tub and Shower Trim Kit. And then the shower arm flange. Nothing of the plumbing or the valve in the shower was changed. I don't know if you can see lower in the picture, but I know in the one I submitted to his magistrate, you can see the little surround on the shower. That was not taken out. Nothing structurally or plumbing-wise was done. It was just cosmetic.
Like you replaced the shower head.
I'm sorry?
Like you replaced the shower head.
Just it was all the outside, the shower head. Nothing inside the wall was changed.
I replaced 4 shower heads in my house last month, all by myself. I didn't get a building permit.
And the
to do
mowing
it.
kit is the same type of the old-fashioned mow, the one thing, but because I wanted it a different color, I changed that.
Well, look, I'm not
about
going to
that.
belabor the issue on this today. I'm not finding a violation in this case based on what's been provided to me. If the city gets additional evidence and wants to recite this and bring it back because there's evidence that work that was done required a building permit, you're obviously free to do that. But I find proper notice. I find the property is not in violation based on the testimony and evidence that I've been provided with, and you're free to go, ma'am.
Thank you.
And just for the record, Special Magistrate, I apologize. I am pulling up the 2002 building code, but for some reason, and maybe my Adobe license needs to be renewed, I don't know, but it's not pulling up. But we will look at the 2002 amendments of the building code, and if we need to recite this case, we'll be bringing it back before the magistrate.
That would be fine.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
Is it still open then? I still can't get my certificate of occupancy?
I'm finding that there's not a code violation based on what's been presented to me today, that
So
gets
it's
you out of
closed
code,
until
that gets you
further
out of code
notice?
enforcement. How the certificate of use is handled, and business tax is handled, you guys are gonna have to figure that out, but I'm not finding you in violation, and I'm dismissing the code case.
Okay, thank
Does
you.
that does not preclude, just for legal terms, is that with or without prejudice, special magistrate? That does not preclude the city from,
You can always bring a new
Reciting.
case,
okay.
but my strong suggestion would be that you have someone from the building department here to tell whoever's sitting in this chair that whatever was done required a building permit, and a building permit was not obtained. But that wasn't done in this case. And
Okay, so
nothing
if
I
you're from
heard
the city-
convinces me that that is the case. I've entered my order. We're finished with this one. Let's move on to the next one, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Number 11, 3009 South Terrace Drive, CE 25063720. It's number 11, 3009 South Terrace.
Hey, good morning, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I observed missing grass and a lack of landscape maintenance at 3009 South Terrace Drive, and this property is occupied. I initiated my investigation on June 12th of 2025 and observed the following violations. 94442C1, the landscape missing grass. 94442E to sod the parkway area. 18106M as in Mary to cut and maintain the landscape, and 7894C to cut grass in the parkway area. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. That notice of violation was notified by notice by certified and regular mail on June 23rd of 2025 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation at the property and city hall on June 26th of 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on June 26th of 2025, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on July 16th of 2025 and August 4th of 2025, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section: 94442C1, the landscape missing grass, which is primarily in the rear of the property. 94442E to sod the parkway area. There's still bare areas in the parkway. And 18106M to cut and maintain the landscape, the parkway area that's still, give me 1 second. Yes, in the parkway area, there's still some grass that needs to be, the parkway still needs to be maintained, which includes edging some of the grass that's growing outside of the parkway area.
Let me just ask you, when you say the parkway area, are you talking about the grass between the sidewalk and the edge of the pavement, or are you talking about
That is
something?
correct, Special Magistrate, yes.
Got it.
All right. So just to confirm, 7894C to cut the grass is the only violation that has been complied. The other three are outstanding, not in compliance.
So 7894C is complied.
Yes, Special Magistrate.
Thank you.
I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. I have been in contact with the property owner's daughter, who is here today to speak on behalf of the property. There was some medical things that took place regarding complying this property. The violations were explained, how to comply them, including the special magistrate hearing date. We discussed the timing to bring the property into compliance. The city is requesting 45 days to comply. If no compliance, $100 per day. The representative is requesting 90 days to comply. instead of the 45 that the city is recommending. The main issue is citing the need to purchase the sod that's in the back. Nothing further from the city.
Okay.
Nothing further, Special Master. We're asking, except for asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs shown to be accepted into the record as
Yes,
evidence.
testimony and the case file are part of the record. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then the floor will be yours.
My name is Phoebe Hernandez.
Get you closer to the mic, please.
My name is Phoebe Hernandez. I'm the daughter of Arlene Hernandez, the property owner.
Okay.
My name is Ann Nelson, and I am the personal representative for the estate of 3009 South.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
Whichever of you wanted to proceed,
I'm
go ahead.
asking for additional time, perhaps 120 days, for the property to come into compliance because, I'm sorry, there's a petition right now that have been filed by me for the accounting and the petition for the discharge of this estate.
Okay.
And so far, I think that by the end of November or December, the estate will be closed and there will be finances available in the estate, from the estate, where the owner then, who would be Arlene Hernandez, will be able to pay for additional grass that's needed. Currently, the granddaughter has seeded the property with seeds, but you know, it's so hot and it's not raining, and they are watering, but it's not taking. So we do need some additional time for grass to grow into the rear. It's a large portion in the rear, and also the front yard. Right now, we don't have the finances to resod the entire property, but we are making attempts to do whatever it is needed to maintain the property.
And based on what you understand with the court case, you believe by November, or by the end of November, I think you said, that it'll be through, the estate.
Yes, the estate will be closed hopefully by the end of November, I'm sure, by the end of November.
What's the city's position on the request for the additional time based on the estate, I guess it's being probated?
That's my mistake, Special Magistrate. It was discussed this morning, I forgot to mention. I also received the documentation to show that the property is in a probate court and the property owner is deceased. I'm gonna present that information now to the city attorney.
Are you in agreement with the 120 days?
Yes, that is fine with me. They are making attempts to keep it clean. As you can see that the property has been cut. I think it was a misunderstanding speaking to the property owner family how to comply the case. But now I do believe that there's a better understanding of how to comply the case and what is needed to comply the case. But they have been fully in contact with me to work out complying the case, and effort has been made. So I am fine, Special Magistrate, with the additional time if you approve it.
I have no objection to that either. Certainly based on what I'm hearing, like I said to an earlier case, I never want to set these up for failure. I want to, and it sounds like you're doing what you can in the meantime. Is there anything else you folks would like to put into the record?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, just for the record, I also have a copy of the Circuit Court probate case petition to extend time for filing final accounting and petition for discharge. So we'll make that part of the record as well. Okay, so respondent is present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited, except that 7894C has complied. We will set 120 days, which I think earlier we called that December 10th of 2025 as the compliance deadline. After that, we'll accept the city's recommendation of $100 per day daily fines until compliance is achieved. So you want to make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Lattimore, especially if you're getting close to that December date, and if something happens in the court system and it gets delayed for some reason or something, just stay in touch,
We're
and if you
gonna
need to ask
work
for more
on it,
time.
like before December 10th. I'm gonna try to work on it because I'm the one who stays there, but I also stay at another property in Miami, and I was just having like a little medical issues, but I'm feeling better, so I'm gonna try to work on it before December 10th because my mom, like, I'm just gonna try to help her out, try to help her before the day. So I'm gonna be in contact with him. Like I said, we're working on some type of plan to be able to make it like more affordable, so that we have to cover the whole thing in grass. So we're just trying to
All right.
figure out a more affordable route. So before December 10th, hopefully, also, like I said, we'll be in contact with Mr. Lattimore.
Very good. Thank you very much, and good luck. All right, thank you.
Case number 4604 Claremore Drive, CE 25053544, number 4604 Claremore Drive.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer Paul McFarland. On May 9th, I received a complaint of 604 Claremont Drive. Upon that complaint, I initiated an investigation and drove past the property. I found the following violations. 105.1, failure to secure building permits for the replacement of the door on the back structure, and failure to replace windows on that said back structure. There's two structures on this parcel. Property was also in violation of 94-302-894. Fence repair and maintenance. Property was also in violation of 94-482-A. Parking requirements. Repairs to the driveway are required. Property was also in violation of 105.4.1, expired permits. Property was also in violation of 94-442-C-1, landscape requires sod. And the property was also in violation of 78-94-C, swells and parkways require sod. As of yesterday, the property has since come into compliance for 105.1, failure to obtain building permits. The owner has obtained the permits for the doors and windows. Owner also came into compliance with the 94-4-A2-A, repairing of the driveway. Owner has also obtained a permit that was issued for repairing of that said driveway, so that has come into compliance.
And I'm sorry, I just want to make sure, that was for 94-482A, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
As of this morning, the owner has presented that the expired permits have been reinstated. So that is the expired permits, 105.4.1 has also come into compliance as of this morning. The only violation that still remain is 94-442-C-1. Landscape requires sod, and 78-4-C, swale requires sod as well. The notice was hand-delivered to the owner on 7/21. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent May 14th. Certified mail was returned June 4th. I have been in constant contact with the owner. City's requesting 60 days to bring the remaining violations into compliance, or $50 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, and forgive me, where are we with the fence, wall maintenance?
That is still outstanding as well. He's had a couple things that he needs to button up there.
Okay.
So that, let's see.
Oh, I see.
94-302-A-4. Fence repair, he still has some minor things to button up there. It's not much.
Yeah,
So-
no, I see. I got it. Okay, great.
Was that all, Mr. McFarland?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
The Officer McFarland's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record in this case. Yes, sir, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then the floor is yours.
Okay. Phil Ringer, 604 Claremore Drive. And that other structure is now 606 Claremore Drive. I went through a hold with them. I didn't find out about that. It was on the record, I guess, since 2001, and I just found out about it a week ago.
Oh, wow.
But it's taken care of
Very good.
completely. So that's gone. All right, so let's just start from the driveway is done. I'm just waiting for the engineer to sign off.
Okay.
The structure with the window and the door, that is done, but the guy said I needed to put in some screws, more screws, so we did that yesterday, and I sent them all the pictures, and they all came back to me. They won't go out.
Oh,
to my phone.
a technical.
So I wanted to email him all the pictures, and when I get home, I'm going to call him to get his email address.
Okay.
And I did send him a text that what happened. I tried 3 times for like 4 hours to get this to him, but he says as soon as I look at the pictures, he'll sign. It's signed off already. It's just a matter of seeing the pictures. So that will be done. Where are we?
I think the only things left, according to Mr. McFarland's testimony, is the grass, the dead grass that needs to be cured, and then there's a couple of small areas on the fence that need to be repaired. Is that
Correct, sir.
that's my takeaway? Is that I missed
Correct.
anything?
Minor things.
So most of the swale that's behind the fence is completely done. I just got to put in a few more plugs.
Okay.
We ran out of grass. I think they cheated me, the company,
Uh-oh.
because they say 450 square feet is 900 with 2 pallets. To that tree was 700 square feet, so I would have had extra to go around.
Right.
It got to the tree, and they put in 11 more pieces, and that was the end. Yeah, I'm missing over 100 pieces.
All right, well, it sounds like, I'm sorry about that, but
Well-
it sounds like you're getting close to bringing this in for a landing. So I think
now-
all you need to do is let Mr. McFarland know once you get that last sod down.
I was waiting now because we have to put some sod in the yard where he wanted it. We were waiting for the permit for the driveway because I kept driving through the grass.
Oh, okay.
So now that I don't have to drive through the grass anymore,
Right.
we should have the rest of the sod in by Monday.
Well, the city's recommending 60 days, so that should be more than plenty of time.
I
for you to
worry about that because
button
that's
this
not
up.
the problem. The fence isn't even the problem.
No, that
just
looked
needs
like a couple of
fixing.
small things.
It's the wall.
Okay.
The wall was busted out. Like
He's got some revisions that he needs to do with that expired permit. The expired permit, it's geared towards the wall.
Okay.
So that's what he's referring to. So he's still working through that. So what I cited him for was the expired permit. So as long as he brings it back into working status, that's considered complied.
So now
So
it's
he's
back
still working
under-
through that.
Okay, so now it's back under an active building permit.
Yes.
So that gets it out of code enforcement.
No.
No.
So I've got,
Sorry, then I don't want to misspeak, so
That's fine.
please.
I've got the
He's been
permit.
working diligently. He's done everything I asked him to do. Right now, everything what he needs to do needs to be on the building side.
Yes.
Where he's going to need to, he has some ideas that he wants to present to them. I told him, go right ahead, do that. I was just trying to get the permits active again.
Okay, and it sounds like that happened, yeah?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And I've got the permit because I just printed it out.
Okay,
this
so you
morning.
have it,
Yes.
but then, I mean, it sounds to me like 60 days should, again, be more than plenty of time to button this
But
up.
I'm worried about
You just need to
that.
let Mr. McFarland know when you're ready for him to come out and take a look, and he can inspect and sign off on it, or give you additional guidance on what else needs to be done to.
Certainly.
I'm only worried about the weather and the hurricane season coming up. That maybe the 60 days to finish that wall and fence might take longer.
So I'm,
It is so hot that nobody wants to work out there in the middle of the day.
I tell you, thank goodness there's younger and stronger people out there than me, because.
And me.
You're not kidding, it's hot. I'm of the opinion the 60 days should be sufficient. If it's not, if despite your best efforts, you're getting close to that, and you think you need more time, just stay in touch with Mr. McFarland and ask for an
Not a
opportunity
problem.
to come back and get more time. And I'll be happy to listen to that request
not a
if I
problem.
need to. But, okay, anything else that you wanted to put into the records or anything else to tell me?
No.
All right, anything else from the city?
No, sir.
We just want to get it done.
We are going to, I do find proper notice, city has proper notice documents in the file. Mr. Ringer is here. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation of city codes 94-442C1, 78-94C, and 94-302A4. We'll find compliance with the other code sections that were originally cited. We'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 60 additional days for compliance. August 8th, I think, is 60 days. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved. All right, good luck, sir. Thank you very much.
Number 10, 1108 State Street, CE 25063751. Number 10, 1108 State Street.
All right, good morning again. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. I received a complaint from a tenant living at 1108 State Street. Per the tenant, his AC was not properly working. I initiated an investigation on 6/24/2025 and observed the following violations. 18103I, the condition of the structure, in particular equipment, AC not working. 22-32A to obtain a certificate of use for the rental property, and 22441 to obtain a rental license. Access was only given to the living room and kitchen area of the home due to the tenant having dogs during the initial inspection. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, as well as notice of this hearing date. That notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on June 27th of 2025 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation at the property in City Hall on July 1st, 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 2021. I revisited the property on August 1st and was unable to gain access to the inside of the property. However, I did receive this morning documentation that the code violation 18103I has been complied. The AC is now fixed. So as of today, the property remained out of compliance with the following code sections: 22-441, obtaining a rental license, and 22-32A, obtaining a certificate of use. I took the photographs at the initial investigation when I revisited the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is present, and we have discussed this case and how to comply it, and she's prepared to head over to take the necessary steps to obtain that rental license today over to the permits department. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to comply or $100 per day. However, the property owner is requesting 60 days to comply due to the possibility of moving forward with an eviction process. At this time, I'm going to present the invoice to show that the AC has been fixed and complied to add it to the case file. That's it, nothing further from me.
So so now the remaining is just to get the certificate of use and the business tax paid is all that's left?
Yes, that is correct, and it seems to be that the property did not switch ownership, but the name of the owner for the property changed, which could be as simple as just updating the rental license to reflect the new property owner's name.
Okay,
Yep, but that is it. That is all.
gotcha, all right. Yes,
Are you in agreement with the 60 days being
Um,
requested?
The standard is 30 days or $100 per day. If the eviction process, I believe this can be completed within the 30 days. If the eviction process does start, there is a possibility of gaining access to the home to complete the rental inspection if needed. So that's where the issue will apply. But I personally believe that everything could be completed in 30 days. I guess we should hear testimony from the owner before making that 60-day agreement.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special
Okay.
Magistrate? Donald, me. That's okay. Nothing
thank you.
further. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
yes, Mr. Lattimore's testimony and the case file is part of the record. Yes, ma'am, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can
Yes,
proceed.
my name is Patricia. Good morning, Your Honor. So my name is Patricia Bove, and the property 1108 is for me, so name change. I didn't know I have to do the rest of it. The AC been fixed, and then as I present the paperwork, which is the receipt from it's been fixed, it is compliant. But I request 60 days. As of today, I'm going to start it and to see if I can change the ownership, so make it the way it's supposed to be. And then as I discussed with everything going to be updated. And I'm going to start the process to evict the tenants there, and because they haven't been paying for 2 months. And then therefore, they're going to have more accessibility to come in to do their inspection.
I'm not understanding what, based on what I've heard, all this requires at this point is to update the certificate of use and the business tax. Does the eviction process impact the owner's ability to do what the city needs done to bring it into compliance?
So at this moment, if it's a simple name change update, to my knowledge, you do not have to complete a new rental inspection. To give more clarification on that, there's a more experienced business tax officer in here. Let me just ask that quick question really fast.
Thank you.
Officer McFarland is going to assist with answering
Yeah,
that question.
I'm having a hard time with the request for 60 days based on what's left to do. It seems like 30 should be plenty of time, but maybe I'm not understanding the process.
I agree with you, Magistrate. It's just a simple updating of the ownership, it seems to me. So once the ownership has been updated, submitting of a new application to reflect the new ownership, that should take care of it. I don't see why that couldn't be done in 30 days.
Thank you, Mr. McFarland.
No.
Let me get,
Yeah, no problem. If it can be done in 30 days, so I don't have no problem with that. So, and then if I need additional time, but I'm going, after I'm leaving over here, I'm going across and then to see if I can start it and then doing this. But
All right.
if you can do it in 30 days, no problem.
well, as I understand it, 30 days should be plenty of time. Now, I'll tell you the same thing I've told other folks. If something happens despite your best efforts, the 30 days is going to be a problem. Stay in touch with Mr. Lattimore and ask him for an opportunity to request more time. But I really, it sounds to me like you'll have plenty of time with 30 days.
Okay,
All right?
no problem.
Okay, so the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation, except for compliance with 18103I. We'll allow 30 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved. All right, good luck, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, number 1 on the agenda, 608 59th Street, CE 25073798.
I'm sorry, which agenda item number was that?
For 1.
Number 1?
Yeah,
Oh,
we have no one
okay.
else present.
Gotcha.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Andrew Jacks, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. Property is 608 59th Street, reported to the Code Enforcement Department by the City of West Palm Beach Police Department regarding health and safety concerns. On July 3rd, 2025, Code Officer Donald Lattimore met with members from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Fire Department, and Building Department at 608 59th Street to complete an initial inspection. Access was granted by an occupant living in the home. During the investigation, multiple concerns were discovered, including no electricity, no plumbing, and structural concerns. The home was deemed unsafe by the Building Department, and the occupants were identified as not having legal rights to access the property. As a result, the property was cited for the following code violations: 18-214-B, board and secure vacant property; 18-265, boarding certificate required; 34-102-A, remove junk abandoned vehicle, which has been complied; and 18-215-B, abatement if failure to comply. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on July 21, 2025, by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation at the property and City Hall on July 9, 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 9th, 2025, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 1st, 2025, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections: 18-214-B, board and secure vacant property; 18-265, boarding certificate required; and 18-215-B, abatement if failure to comply. Officer Lattimore took photos at the initial investigation. I took photos when revisiting the property on August 1st, 2025. These photos accurately and truthfully depict the violation Officer Lattimore and I observed during this investigation. The property owner is not present, and I have not been in contact with the property owner or designated representative. Given the public health and safety concerns associated with this property, the city is requesting 10 days to comply all remaining violation. If no compliance for code section 18-214-B and 18-215-B, the city is requesting abatement to board and secure property. For code section 18-265, the city is requesting a $100 per day fine until boarding certificate is obtained. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On my agenda, I don't know if it's the same for special magistrate. There are some of the sites that you're saying on yours that's not on the agenda. So let's just, for clarification, please. We're citing for 18-265, which is boarding certificate, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And for 18-214B, secure vacant property, correct?
Right.
Regarding 18-215B, which I've spoken with code before, that's not necessarily a violation, that's a procedural matter. So at this point in time, special magistrate, we're not using that as a citation because, as you can see, it's more of a procedural instructing the violator of the rights of the city and appeal and payment matters. Now, is there another violation that I'm missing other than those two violations?
34-102-A, which has been complied. That's remove junk abandoned vehicle.
Okay. Is there anything else other than that one?
No, ma'am. This is a split case, so Code Officer Donald Lattimore will present the next section.
I got it, and you did great. Thank you. I know you're new. You did excellent. I just wanted to make sure we had the violations on the record.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Nothing further from the city. I'm requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the case file and the photographs that he himself took, as well as the other photographs in the case file be admitted into the record, please.
All right, Officer Jacques' testimony as well as the city's case file are part of the record. The respondent is not present at today's hearing. However, the city has proper notice with certified mail and the posting in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation of City Code 18265 and 18214B. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find those violations constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. In that you have an unsecured vacant property with evidence of vagrancy and occupancy without plumbing and electricity. I will grant all the relief requested by the city, including the daily fines and the authority to enter the property, abate, and assess those costs.
Thank you very much.
Number 2345 Bandon Boulevard, CE 25063706.
Good morning. Don Williams, Code Enforcement, City of West Palm Beach. I cited 345 Banyan Boulevard on June 17th of 2025 for the violations of a sign permit needed for the windows, and that code section is 94-402E-1. Certified mail, regular mail sent out on June 17th of 25. City Hall and the property posted June 26th of 25. Contact has been made with the property owner. The permit has been applied for on July 15th of 25. The owner is just waiting for a final review by our Planning and Zoning Department, and that review is scheduled for August 21st of 25. I'm asking for additional 30 days to comply or a $100 a day one-time fine.
And did you speak with the owner, you stated?
I did.
Okay, and is the 30 days is the owner agreeable to that?
Yeah, because it's in final review, so it should be completed within that time frame.
Okay, great, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs, if any, to be admitted into the record, please.
Right. Officer Williams' testimony as well as the city's case file are part of the record. What was the sign? Is it that sandwich board that I saw in the one picture, or is it something else?
No, it's the windows.
The window signs?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those things need permitted.
Okay.
It's right up the street.
All right. Let's see. The respondent is not present at today's hearing. However, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant all the relief requested by the city.
Number 209 South Olive Avenue, CE 25063704.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited 209 South Olive Avenue for Code Section 18106A, which is clean and sanitary condition. I cited them on June 17th of 2025. Certified mail and regular mail mailed out June 17th of 25. City Hall and the property posted June 26th of 25. Contact was made with the property owner. They agreed to have it completed prior to this hearing date, but have failed to do so. So today I'm asking 10 additional days to get it complied. If not, $50 per day fine thereafter that date.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the case file, the code enforcement officer's testimony to be admitted into the record, please, as evidence.
All right. Officer Williams' testimony and the city's case file are part of the record. The photograph showing down the alley is where the
It's
problem
in between
was.
the two buildings.
Yeah.
It's a couple of buildings there.
Okay. Respondent is not present at today's hearing, but the city has proper notice. I will find, based on the testimony and evidence, that the property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant all the relief requested by the city.
Thank you.
Number 6, 1118 Green Pine Boulevard, C2, CE 25053566. Case is rescheduled. Number 7, 318 Third Way, CE 25053528. That case is rescheduled. Number 8, 3200 Greenwood Avenue, CE 25063724. He's got the next 2 cases, 3 cases. Okay, we'll return to those. Number 13, 1441 Brandywine Road, 800K, CE 25073863.
Good morning again, Code Officer KT Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. I received a complaint from the tenant, Mr. Gene Lewis at 1441 Brandywine Road, Unit 800K. I inspected the unit and observed several violations. I took photos of the unit which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on July the 22nd of 2025, citing the following violations. 18103-A, the condition of structures, watertight, etc. 18-106A, clean and sanitary. 18-103C, conditions of structures, the walls, ceilings, etc. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 23rd of 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 23rd of 2025, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on July the 23rd of 2025, and certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2025, and it is currently being, the issues are currently being fixed. So, speaking with the property manager and viewing the unit, the property is expected to be complied, she's saying, within the next few days. So I took some photos just showing that the improvement that's going on. I have had contact with the property manager and the regional manager, who is requesting an additional 15 days to bring the property into compliance. The city is also requesting that an additional 15 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
An additional 15 days, or?
Just additional 15 days.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So 15 days. You're in
ma'am.
agreement as well as the property manager for 15 days, and you believe that's a reasonable time?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, as well as the case file to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Yes, Ms. Weaver's testimony, city's file, it's all part of the record. I was just watching. So they're in process right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
they've had a plumber to come out. There was a water leak in behind the walls from
Okay.
the unit above, and it was leaking all through the ceiling, all onto the stove. It was a major leak all on the floors, saturated in a lot of the rooms. So they have gutted it, they have put new sheetrock, and, had all that repaired. So they just have a few more things to do. It should be complied within the week, but like I said, we agreed on an additional 15 days just to make sure everything has time to be complied.
All right, so 15 days would be August 21st. Before that, respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting and the certified mail in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant the relief requested by the city, which has also been agreed to by the respondent.
Thank you.
Number 14, 4000 Westview Avenue, CE 25063657.
Good morning again. Code Officer KT Weaver, City of West Palm Beach. While checking a complaint in the area, I observed several violations at 4000 Westview Avenue. I took photos of the violations which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on June the 10th of 2025, citing the following violations. 74-4-C-4, the trees and hedges obstructing right-of-way, which has been complied. 78-94-C, swells and parkways, which has been complied. 18-106A, clean and sanitary pressure washing, which has been complied. 94-446-2-E, edging, which has been complied. The only remaining violation is 94-442-E, the landscaping of swells and parkways in reference to pavers being in the parkway area. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 15th of 2025. The affidavit of posting was also completed on July the 15th of 2025, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on June the 13th of 2025. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2025 and observed the property still in violation of 94-442-E. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th of 2025 showing the remaining violation. They were uploaded to the case file. I have had contact with the property owner on several occasions. And the city is requesting an additional 30 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. And you believe that's a reasonable time?
Yes, ma'am. It's just a matter of pulling the pavers up and putting some sod in that area. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Nothing further. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Yes, Officer Weaver's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record. So I'm clear. The only thing left, it looks like there was some in between those trees out in the swale that needs to be resodded because it's all sand and.
No, sir. That's some old pictures. The pavers, there's a picture with the pavers in the parkway area. Those are the only thing all of that, everything else has been complied except the pavers. If we get to the pavers or go into the reinspection photos, you'll see the pavers.
I'm sorry, it's 94-446-2E. Is that what's in violation still?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. I checked off the wrong one. Okay. All right. Okay, so those aren't allowed in the.
No, sir.
Okay. So those have to be removed and replaced with living, like sod?
Yes, sir.
Ground cover. Got it. Okay. Respondent is not present at this morning's hearing, but the city has proper notice with signed certified mail and also posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, looks like the property pretty much complied with everything that was originally cited except 94-446-2E regarding the curb and edging. That has to be, that remains in violation. I will accept the city's recommendation and grant the relief requested.
Thank you.
Which violations out of compliance? I thought it was 94-442-E.
Yes. 94-442-E.
Okay. So for that one, okay.
All right, you got the right one?
Okay, just want to make sure.
Thank you. All right.
Number 15, 947 38th Street, CE 25053512.
All righty. Code Enforcement Officer KT Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While patrolling the area, I observed several violations at 747 38th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on May the 6th of 2025, citing the following violations. The property was cited for 94-302-A-4 fence and wall maintenance, which has been complied. 74-4-C-4, trees and hedges obstructing the right-of-way. 18-106M, maintaining landscape. 18-103B, condition of the structure. 78-94-C, swell parkways. 94-442-E, landscaping of swells and parkways. 94-71-C, outdoor storage. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary and pressure washing. 94-446-2-E, edging. 18-106-I, litter and trash and debris. 18-106B, excessive growth. 18-106G, paint touch-up. The notice of violation was posted on the property and City Hall on July the 15th of 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 15th of 2025, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA. On May the 6th of 2025, certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2025 and observed the property to still be in violation of every violation except 94-302-A-4. Reinspection photos were taken showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case file. I have not spoken to the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And you stated you have not spoken with the owner,
No, ma'am.
but you do believe that that time's a reasonable amount? What time, how many
30
days? 30
30 days.
To comply with all these except for the fence wall maintenance?
Most of it is basic landscaping and putting sod in the areas that need sod. And this property, unfortunately, has been monitoring it for a good while. This property stays in this condition. So it's not even, they barely address it, and it's becoming a nuisance in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So I think they may just need a little effort, but it is a rental property, so I don't know if the tenants are required to maintain it or the property owner themselves.
It's rental?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, the photographs taken to be admitted into the record, please.
Thank you. Let's see, Officer Weaver's testimony as well as the city's case file are part of the record in this case. The respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, find the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of compliance with City Code 94-302-A4. Everything else remains in violation, and I will accept the recommendation and grant the relief requested by the city.
Thank you.
Number 17, 921 36th Street, CE 25053524.
Code Officer K.T. Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. I received a complaint for 921 36th Street. I observed several violations at the property. I took photos of the violations which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on May the 8th of 2025, citing the following violations. 78-6, numbering standards, which has been complied. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, which has been complied. 94-302-A-3, fence permit, and FBC 110.1, work subject to inspection. Those two remain outstanding for now. The notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on July the 15th of 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 15th of 2025, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on May the 12th of 2025. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on August the 5th, also checked the system, and observed it to still be in violation of the 94-302-A-3 and FBC 110.1. I did take a few photos showing the property. I have had contact with the owner, who is currently out of the country and is requesting an additional 120 days. By the work being done, owner builder, she has to be here in person to complete the rest of that process. So that, hence the 120 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And you're in agreement with the 120 days? Reluctantly? Okay.
Yes.
Nothing further, and you believe 120 days is reasonable given that she's out of the country?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the photographs presented, and the case file be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Thank you. Yes, Officer Weaver's testimony as well as the city's case file are part of the record. Was it that horizontal slat
Actually,
fence?
she put up a whole fence. It was a complaint from the neighbor next door.
Okay.
And originally, she said she didn't, so we went through all of that. But it was determined after I was able to get photos from the neighbor's property that she did put up, have a fence put up, yes.
Okay. Let's see, the respondent is not present at today's hearing, but the city has proper notice with the signed certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of city codes 94302A3 and 110.1, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Thank you.
Number 18, 830 8th Street, CE 25053595.
Thank you. My last one.
Yay.
Good morning again, Code Enforcement Officer KT Weaver with the City of West Palm. While checking a complaint at 822 8th Street, I observed several violations at the adjacent property at 830 8th Street. I took photos of the violations which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on May the 28th of 2025, citing the following violations. 94-482-A, parking requirements, unpaved parking, which has been complied. 94-442-C-1, landscape areas must be grass. 78-94-C, swells and parkways. 94-442-E, landscaping of swells and parkways. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, pressure washing. And 94-446-2-E, edging. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 15th of 2025. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 15th of 2025, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on June the 4th of 2025. Certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on August the 5th and observed the property still in violation of 94-442-C-1, 78-94C, 94-442E, 18-106A, and 94-446-2E. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th of 2025 showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property manager via email. The city is requesting an additional 30 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Yes, Officer Weaver's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record. In this case, respondent is not present to this morning's hearing, but the city has proper notice with the certified mail and posting in the file. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence, property remains in violation as cited, except that compliance has been achieved with Section 94-482A. I will grant, I'll accept the city's recommendation and grant the relief requested.
Thank you.
Okay, back to Mr. Lattimore's cases. Number 8, 3200 Greenwood Avenue, CE 25063724.
Thank you. Good morning again. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I observed overgrown grass at 3200 Greenwood Avenue. This property is occupied. I initiated my investigation on 6/17/2025 and observed the following violations: 18106B, excessive growth, 18106A, clean and sanitary, primarily to clean the driveway area. 18106K, landscape maintenance. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. That notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on June 23rd of 2025 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation at the property and city hall on June 26, 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on June 26. I revisited the property on August 1st, 2025, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section. 18106A, the driveway still needs to be cleaned. 18106K, landscape maintenance. There's still areas that needs to be sod and properly maintained. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully show the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, and I have not made contact with the property owner or a representative. The city is requesting an additional 45 days to comply. If no compliance, a $50 per day fine.
Thank you. Is it a rental property, to your knowledge?
No, not to my knowledge. It's not a rental property.
And when you revisited, was the posting still on the property?
No, the posting was removed.
Okay, thanks. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Thank you. Officer Lattimore's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record for this case. The respondent is not present. The city has proper notice with certified mail and posting contained in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant all the relief requested by the city.
Number 9, 608 59th Street, CE 25063623.
All right. Good morning, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. This case is a continuation and it's associated with agenda item number 1. So I'm going to cover the exterior violations of the property. This case was initiated by former Code Officer Sonia Benz on May 29th of 2025. The case was reassigned to me on July 3rd of 2025. On May 29th, the following violations were observed at the property, 608 59th Street. 18103B, to repair the exterior structure. 18106A, clean and sanitary, to remove the trash and debris. 18106G, to paint necessary areas that are missing paint or where the elements are taken, where the elements are not protecting the structure. The paint is not protecting the structure from elements, such as rain. 7434A18, trash container in public view. 94482A, to repair the driveway. 9471C, outdoor storage. 18106K, landscape maintenance. 22441, no rental license. 2232A, no certificate of use. 94442C1, to sod the landscape. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, former Code Officer Ben's contact information, and notice of this hearing date. That notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on June 6, 2025 by the city's clerk. The notice was posted at the property and city hall on June 4th, 2025, and the affidavit of posting was also completed on June 4th of 2025. I revisited the property on July 3rd, July 23rd, and August 1st of 2025 and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections. 18103B, 18106A, 18106G, 7434A1H, 94482A, 9471C are currently not in compliance. Former Code Officer Ben took the photographs at the initial investigation. I took the photograph when I revisited the property. The photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations former Code Officer Benz and I observed during the investigation. The property owner is not present and no contact has been made with the property owner. With that being said, for code violations 18106K and 94442C1, the city is requesting a finding of fact. For code violations
Can you
18103.
state those again, because they're not on the
Yes, I was
agenda?
about to say, those aren't listed on our agenda.
Because they're
Okay.
complied.
So I think what's happening is once the violations are being complied, they're being removed off of the hearing. So with that being said, we'll skip those violations, not a biggie.
Yes,
We'll focus on the remaining violations that are not complied. So for code violations 18103B, 18106A, 18106G, 7434A1H, 94482A, and 9471C. The city is requesting 45 days to comply or a $150 per day fine.
Thank you. And 45 days is a reasonable time?
Yes, it's a reasonable time.
We are asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs presented to be put in the record as evidence, please.
Thank you. Officer Lattimore's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record. The respondent is not present at today's hearing. However, the city has proper notice with certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation. How do I want to say this? As cited, except for the two that were originally going to be findings of fact, which are but not seeking anymore, as testified to by Officer Lattimore, and I will grant all the relief requested by the city for those.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Special Magistrate.
Number 12, 3300 Westview Avenue, CE 25063662.
Thought I was done. All right, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I observed a frequent change of vehicles at 3300 Westview Avenue, which prompted me to check for a rental license at this property. I initiated my investigation on June 4th of 2025 and found this property listed as an Airbnb rental without a rental license. The property was cited for the following code violations: 22-441, no rental license; 22-32-A, no certificate of use. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on June 11th, 2025 by the city's clerk, and I posted the notice of violation at the property and City Hall on June 11th of 2025. I also completed an affidavit of posting on June 11th, 2025. I revisited the property on July 24th, as well as August 1st, 2025, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section: 22-441, no rental license; 22-32-A, no certificate of use. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, these photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, but I have been in contact with the owner throughout this investigation. The violations were explained, how to comply them, as well as this special magistrate hearing. Per the owner, he's working on obtaining the state license necessary to have a short-term rental, which is the Airbnb. With that being said, the city is requesting an additional 30 days to comply. If no compliance, $100 per day.
And this was discussed with the owner? The
Yes,
30
that
days
is correct, yes.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, to be admitted into the record, please, as evidence.
Yes, Officer Lattimore's testimony and the city's file are part of the record in this case. The respondent is not present at today's hearing, but the city has proper notice with certified mail and posting contained in the file. I will find based on the evidence property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant all the relief requested by the city.
Thank you.
Number 19, 3130 Vincent Road, CE 25053583.
Good morning. Officer Forestier, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. This
Can you
property,
speak a little bit louder, please, officer? Thank you.
this property was cited on 5/20/25 by Sonia Benz, former officer, at the initial inspection. It was reassigned to me. Service was accomplished by certified mail on 6/6/25. In addition, both the property and the city hall was posted on 5/27/25. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for 94-302-A-4 wall repair, 94-442-C-1 ground cover, 18106-K landscaping, 94-71-C building material and public view, 18-215-B failure to comply, but in regards to the overgrowth, it was already complied. As this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 30 days for them to come in compliance. If they do not come in compliance, then the city is asking $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I may have missed it. Did you testify as to the notice that we sent? Notice was posted, sent?
Correct.
Oh, sorry. And just for the record, Special Magistrate, we're withdrawing, scratching out 18-215B as stated earlier in this other case. This is procedural and not a violation per se. And do you believe that 30 days is sufficient time, reasonable time?
I do.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Thank you. Officer Forster's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record in this case. Based on the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited with the exclusion of Code 18215B. I will grant all the relief requested by the city.
Number 21 is complied, 507 Alvarado, CE 25073785. Number 22, 224 Lyman Place, CE 25063695. Number 22, 224 Lyman Place.
Good morning. Officer Forestier, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. The property was cited on 6/9/25. Service was accomplished by the certified mail sent on 7/18/25. In addition, both property and city hall were posted on 6/23/25. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. This property was cited for 105.1, no permits for pavers, and 110.1 inspection required. As this morning, the property has not come in compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 30 days for them to come in compliance. If they do not come in compliance, then the city is requiring $100 a day until compliance is achieved. I do believe that they applied for the permit at this time, so they're asking for another 30 days.
Now, do you believe or do you know if they applied for the permit?
They did.
Okay. Do you know when they applied for the permit?
About 3 weeks ago.
And what is, can I see the photographs again? So we're violating them for the pavers?
Yes.
Or they need to replace the pavers?
They need to replace the pavers and put them back
Okay.
with an inspection.
But I thought we were citing for failure to secure a building permit.
Correct. They had no permit when they moved in. There was no permit for the pavers, so they got violated for not having the permit for the pavers. So now they have to remove the pavers and redo them.
Can I see the photographs, please? It seems like the pavers aren't really newly submitted. They seem old to me.
No, those are the old pavers.
Okay. Oh.
which never had a permit to have, to begin with. There's no new pavers yet. They applied for a permit for new pavers.
And how many days are you recommending?
30,
And you believe that's reasonable?
I believe so.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the the code officer, rather, testimony to be accepted, as well as the case file and photographs into the record as evidence, please.
Okay, Officer Forster's testimony and the city's file are part of the record. Respondent is not present at today's hearing, but the city has proper notice with the certified mail and the posting contained in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited and grant all the relief requested by the city.
And I'm sorry, what was the fine you requested?
$100 a day.
Thank you. Number 24, 428 Avon Road, CE 25063715.
Good morning, Officer Forster, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. This property was cited on 4/16/25. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on 6/25/25. In addition, both the property and City Hall was posted on 6/23/25. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. This property was cited for 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, power wash sidewalk, 18-105-J, scrape and paint peeling on the building.
428.
As this morning, the property has not been in compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for another additional 15 days for compliance and $100 a day after compliance is not achieved.
And you believe 15 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes,
And did you testify you spoke with the owner?
I did.
And they're in agreement with the 15 days?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and case file to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
There we go. Okay.
Avon.
Are those the photos?
Some of the violations were already cured.
Yes, Officer Forster's testimony as well as the city's case file are part of the record for this hearing. Respondent is not present. However, the city has proper notice with certified mail and the posting. Based on the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 25, 707 Canuga Drive, CE 25063728.
Good morning, Officer Forster, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. This property was cited on 6/18/25 by a former code officer, which was reassigned to me. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on 7/27/25. In addition, both the property and the City Hall was posted on 7/27/25. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for 18-106-K landscaping, 94-448-G tree removal, 94-448-D-1 tree alteration permit, 94-446-2-B-3 hat racking. As of this morning, the property has not come in compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 120 days to obtain all permit for tree alteration, and this particular property is setting up for demo. If compliance is not achieved by the city, we'll ask for $100 a day until compliance is achieved. So I believe that this property was got a violation in the process of it being demoed. So we went through with the violations, but I spoke with the owner, and they are in the process of getting a permit. So I was asking for another 120 days, and he's in agreement with that.
Okay, so he's in the process of getting a demolition permit?
And a tree alteration permit.
And do you know when it was applied and how long that'll take if the 120 days is reasonable?
According to him, he already applied, and he says usually it takes about 4 months because he does a lot of demos in the South End area.
Okay.
So usually it's 4 months is accurate.
Okay, nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file and photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Okay. Yeah, Officer Forster's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record. So once this is demoed and it's basically turned into a vacant lot, and they also get the tree alteration permit, that'll comply.
Right, so once they finish the demo and do all the landscaping and put all the trees in, everything will be cured.
All right. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 26, 724 McIntosh Street, CE 25063753. Case is complied. Number 27, 708 McIntosh Street, CE 25073780.
Does that comply too?
Unfortunately not. City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer Richard Pazmino. While patrolling my zone, I observed the property at 708 McIntosh Street to have the violations 9471C, outside storage, 18106A, unsanitary conditions, trash and debris, and 18106B, which is overgrowth. These violations are repeat violations from an adjudicated code case, which is, CE 24102840. So I created code case, the one we're in front of today, CE 25073780, which was cited on July 2nd, 2025. Certified mail was sent out July 2nd, 2025. It was returned on July 9th. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on July 3rd, 2025. The code section 2635-B was used for the repeat violations in this code case. And I also observed a new violation, 7434A1H, for the garbage can being stored in public view. I have had no contact from the owner or anybody regarding this property or case. It appears that the sidewalk was pressure washed, which was asked to be done in the code case, and the lawn was mowed, although it was done incomplete. All the violations remain to this day. The city's recommending a $100 a day fine to start from the first day of observation, which is July 2nd, 2025, for code sections 9471C, 18106B, 2635B, and 18106A. And we're also asking for 5 days or $50 a day for code section 7434A1H for garbage can in public view.
And did you speak with the owner?
I've had no contact.
After the owner, is it rental to your knowledge?
No, it's owner occupied. I believe it's homesteaded.
And did you observe whether the posting was removed from the, when you removed from the property?
It was removed, yes.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Officer Pazmino's testimony, as well as the city's case file, are part of the record. The city has proper notice with the posting and the return of certified mail. On the non-repeat, what is the daily fine you were asking?
5 days or $50 a day.
50. Got it. Thank you. And then the repeat starts July 2nd. That's when they were first observed. And that you're asking for daily fines of $100 per day until those are brought into compliance.
Yes.
Okay. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find that the property remains in violation as cited. I find that the violations of City Code 18106A, 9471C, and 18106B are repeat violations based on the case Officer Pasmino placed into the record in his testimony from, it was 2024. For those three cases, which were the repeat violation was first observed on July 2nd, I'll assess daily fines of $100 per day beginning July 2nd and continuing until compliance is achieved. I also find property remains in violation of City Code 7434A1H. That is not a repeat violation. I'll allow 5 days to comply. After that, daily fines of $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 28, 810 Selkirk Street, CE 25063754.
Code Enforcement Officer Richard Pasmino. While patrolling my zone, I observed the violations at this property, which were 18106B, excessive growth, 9471C, outdoor storage, 7434A1H, trash cans stored in public view, and 18106A, clean and sanitary conditions. The property was cited on June 27th, 2025. Certified mail was sent out June 27th. It was signed and received on July 2nd, 2025. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on July 2nd. The affidavit of posting and picture of posting are attached to this case file. As of Monday, all code sections have been corrected except 18106A. I've had no contact from the owner or anybody regarding this property or case. The violations remaining is the driveway and sidewalks have not been pressure washed or cleaned. I've tried to make contact with the owner to see if they understood. I knocked on the door, rang the doorbell, no. I was unable to make contact. With that being said, the city's recommending 30 additional days for them to comply this violation. If not, we're asking for a fine of $75 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. And the only outstanding violation is 18-106A, correct?
Correct.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file, and photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Yes, Officer Pasmino's testimony and the city's case file are part of the record for this hearing. The respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the signed certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, find the property remains in violation of City Code 18106A, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 30, 809 Dobbins Street, CE 25063731.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer. While patrolling my zone, I observed the following violations at this property. 94487B1, remove prohibited vehicles. There was a commercial food truck being stored on the property. 94442C1, landscape areas on the property must be grass or approved ground cover. 7434A1H, trash cans being stored in public view. 9471C, outdoor storage, and 18106G, exterior paint required, and 94302A4, fence maintenance. The property was cited on June 23rd, 2025. Certified mail was sent out June 23rd. It was signed and received on June 27th. In addition to that, the property and City Hall were both posted on June 24th. Affidavit of posting mailing is notarized and attached to the case file, as well as photos of the posting. As of Monday morning, the remaining violation at this property is 94442C1 for the landscaping requirements. I spoke to the brother of the owner who requested more time to fix this last issue. He put down mulch where he should have put ground cover. He needs more time to fix it since the current owner is not at the property. He's incarcerated. So the brother's trying to handle things and get it taken care of. The city's recommending, as well as in agreement with the brother's owner, for 45 additional days. And if that's not done within the 45 days, we're asking for a fine of $75 a day.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
Officer Pazmino's testimony as well as the city's file are part of the record. The respondent is not present this morning. However, the city has proper notice with the posting and certified mail in the file. I do find property remains in violation of City Code 94-442C1, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 31, 813 Selkirk Street, CE 25063738 is complied. And lastly, number 32, 5555 Garden Avenue, CE 25063710.
Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. This property was observed to be in violation while doing my routine patrols. This property was cited for Code Section 7434A1H, garbage cans stored in public view, 9471C, outdoor storage visible to the public, 94482A, unpaved parking, 94442C1, landscaping requirements. Landscaping must be grass or approved ground cover. 94442E, landscaping requirements for swales/parkways. 18106A, trash, debris, unsanitary conditions. 18106B, excessive growth. This property was cited on June 17th. Certified mail was sent out June 17th. It was returned. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on June 20th, 2025. The affidavit of posting and the photos of the posting are attached to the case file. As of Monday, the only two violations that have come into compliance are 94482A, the unpaved parking, and 18106B, the excessive growth. All other violations remain. I had contact early on in the case with someone who identified themselves as a property manager, who I tried to explain the violations in the code case. They said they understood and they'll handle it. Communication fell through. I've had no further communication since. It looks like they did try to start some work on the property, but it's incomplete, and those remaining violations do still exist. With that being said, the city's recommending 30 additional days to bring the remaining violations into compliance. If not, we're asking for a fine of $75 a day.
Okay, thank you so much. Nothing further. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence, please.
All right, Officer Pazmino's testimony and the city's evidentiary case file are part of the record for this case. The respondent is not present. However, the city has proper notice with the posting and the certified mail in the file. I will find the property remains in violation as cited with the exception of compliance with 18106B and 94482A, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Thank you.
All right, do you guys need to take 5 before we
Yes,
proceed?
please.
So, yeah.
A bathroom break.
So it's what, 11:44? Let's try and be back on the record by 11:55 or so. All right? Very good. We'll go off the record for about 10 minutes. on the record? All right, let's go ahead and get started with the other matter agenda. So I don't think anybody was here at 9 o'clock, when I swore in those folks. So let me swear everybody in who's going to be speaking to me about the remaining items on our agenda. If you'll all stand, raise your right hand, I'll swear you in. Each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I do. Thank you. You can all have a seat. Generally, the way I'll proceed with these cases, we'll call them up in the order. I guess we have sign-in sheet again. And first, I'll get some background information from the city in terms of the prior violation, the amount of the lien, and once the city gives me that info, then I'll come to you. I'll have you come up to the podium here to my right, and then the floor will be yours to tell me about the lien request. And once I've heard everything, I will, if there's not a stipulated agreement, I will enter an order. So with that basic explanation, let's go ahead and get started.
Number 35, 421 26th Street, CE 22030508. Number 35, actually 419 26th Street.
Okay, Mark Joyce, Code Enforcement. Okay, for 419/421 26th Street, it's case CE 22030508. The property was cited for work without permits, interior and exterior alterations without permits and inspections. The case went before a magistrate on 12/7/22. It was ordered to comply by February 5th of 23. The fine started on February 6th of 23. The daily fine was $250. It ran for 682 days, complied on 12/19/24. Current fine is $170,500. It's a new owner. The city is asking for an 80% reduction, or that the owner pay 20%, or $34,100.
$34,100?
Yes.
And that's an 80% reduction?
That's 20% of the total.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have the property appraiser printout for these? If I could take a peek at that too. Thank you. Hey, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Magistrate. My name is Paul Krasker. I'm appearing on behalf of the petitioner. While everything the code enforcement officer said is true, it doesn't tell the full story of what happened and the hardships that my clients went through.
Okay.
There was an original permit pulled for the house, and there were renovations being conducted on the pool house. It was never intended to be a separate structure. It was never intended to be rented out. So my clients did not believe that another permit would be required for the second structure. So that's why there was, quote, work done without a permit. There was a permit issued for the house and an ancillary structure, but when the inspector got there to look at the ancillary structure, they required that a separate permit and a separate property address be created because there were some items in there that could allow it to be a rental. So there was probably about 6 to 9 months of delay just because of that, and anything that was posted from this new permit was never sent to an address that could be received because there was no post office address at that time. It was being separated out by the county, and that never occurred until the next year.
Okay.
So for all those reasons, they didn't get the notice that they should have received on it. I think the code enforcement officer who was there at the time is no longer working with the city, but I think other code enforcement officers would say from the moment that my clients understood that there was a violation, they diligently pursued a cure. They thought everything was resolved. They never called for a final permit. Even when we were supposed to be in front of the special magistrate last month, they never had it re-inspected at the end of the day because they had their permit closed out, and they thought that resolved all matters. They didn't understand that they needed to go to code enforcement as well as the permits, but the permits were closed out a year ago. All that said, we understand that there was a violation. My clients are asking if they could pay 5% of the fine, and we think that's reasonable based on the facts and circumstance.
So the permit for the main residence, you had that. And then I'm trying to figure out what happened during that 682-day period. Can you?
Yep.
When the fine accrued?
Yeah, so the last 200 or so days was simply because my clients didn't know that the permit closure wasn't the same thing as the code enforcement closure.
Okay.
And they only found out that 285 days later when they went to sell their property and they realized there was a code violation still, and they turned back to me and said, no, we've got a permit that's been closed. We did everything we were supposed to do by the city. I explained that you don't get your permit and your code case cured until a code officer comes out and confirms that the cure occurred. And that's when they called the code officer, and we were supposed to be on the docket for last month.
And then you testified or told me there was like a 6 to 9 month delay in getting the pool house permit. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Sure, we had to go get a separate permit, apply for that permit. We had to go through the historic boards and everything else that we needed to do to get this approved.
So that was the plan review, comments back and forth. It was just working through the process to get the.
And my client spent over $500,000 making these improvements to the structure.
Okay. Let me ask the city if you want to put anything in response into the record based on what they.
The case is opened by a building inspector, not a code enforcement officer, so he's the one who cited for work without a permit. Obviously, it's a very serious offense because they have a whole nother building, electrical, it's all trades, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, it's a life safety issue. Something could be not done to code and could be dangerous. As far as the permits, the fine stops when the permits are finalized. So, even if they were to call a month later, we would go back and see when the permit was finalized, and we'd stop the fine on the day that the permit was finalized. So it doesn't run, the fine doesn't run after they're in compliance or anything like that. Yeah.
Can you give me some more detail on the amount and the type of work that was done on the pool house without the permit and
Not without pulling up the case. The notes say all trades, interior and exterior alterations without permits and inspections. So when they say all trades, it's usually building, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Okay. So all of them were done without permits or inspection.
All right, thank you. I'll give you guys the final say to.
Sure. My understanding is that it was just demolition work that was done on the pool house, and we were stopped at that point to get a permit before we brought in all the trades, and that's where the 9 months came in for getting everything done and starting the construction back up again there. And again, I heard what the code officer said about the permit stopping the fines, but that wasn't what I was told when I called after the permit was closed.
Sure. And then I just want to verify, I know you mentioned this, but this is not, and it never has been a rental.
Correct.
Situation.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And now we have a situation with the city where we've got a house with one address and a pool house with a second address. So I've explained to my client that both need to have the correct address, and they need to be able to monitor that.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I'd like to be in a position where we could have a consent agreement on a percentage reduction. Would the code enforcement officer support the 5%?
No.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So this is case 22-30508. I have heard the testimony and the arguments. The current lien and a fine amount is $170,500. I'm going to reduce that to $15,000. How long will it take you to pay that? Can you pay that within?
Can we agree on 10%, code officer?
10% is more than what he's offering.
Say
here.
10% would be
17,000.
17. I said 15.
What was your number? I thought you said 15%.
No, I said 15,000.
Thank you. Okay.
Which is, yeah, a little bit less than 10%.
No, I appreciate it.
When can you have that paid by?
Friday?
All right, we're going to put 30 days in the order, but that will be fine. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, next case is number 34-625 Forest Hill Boulevard, CE 22110045. They're also here for number 39, a different address. I'll call that after.
Okay.
34 and 39.
But they're different cases, different addresses.
625 Forest Hill Boulevard, CE 22110045. The property was cited for no permits, for a paver driveway that was installed and parking requirements. The case went before a magistrate on December 7th of '22. It was ordered to comply by February 5th of '23. Fine started on February 6th of '23. It was a daily fine of $100. It ran for 723 days. The comply date was January 29th of '25. The current fine is $72,300. I met with the attorney representing the owner, and we reached an agreement of $10,000 reduction with 30 days to pay.
Okay, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Alexander Master on behalf of the petitioners. We have an agreement of $10,000 that our clients will pay.
So the amount is 10 or the reduction?
The amount is 10, that's correct.
So the amount of the agreed amount that will be paid is $10,000?
Yes.
Just want to make sure I
Yes.
understood. Okay. And that's everybody's understanding. I will certainly ratify that. And
Do you need the popper on this, the property?
if you guys have agreed on it, I don't really need it. I'm not going to do an analysis, so good.
Okay, for 815 Forest Hill Boulevard, it was CE 23030187. The property was cited for a commercial vehicle, unpaved parking, missing sod, address characters, trash and debris, outdoor storage, and the driveway needs cleaning and landscape maintenance. It was ordered on 4/19/23 to comply by 5/19/23. Fine started on 5/22/23. It was a $50 a day fine, ran for 618 days. Current fine is $30,900, and I reached an agreement with the owner's attorney for a $4,000, a reduction to $4,000 with 30 days to pay.
Okay, yes, sir.
That's our understanding as well,
$4,000, and I'm paid by when? I didn't hear it. What's the?
30 days, please.
Okay, all right, so ordered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, numbers 36 and 37 for 644 53rd Street, CE 22060357, and CE 23020280.
Okay, Mark Joyce, Code Enforcement, 644 53rd Street, CE 22060357. Unpaved parking and overgrowth was the violations that were cited. It was ordered on 9/21 of '22 to comply by 10/21 of '22. The fine started on 10/24 '22. It was a daily fine of $100. It ran for 536 days and was complied on 4/12/24. Current fine is $53,600. I met with the owner prior to this meeting, and we agreed to a reduction to $5,360. And I don't know how much time he needs, 30 days? 30 days to pay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Just want to make sure, go ahead and put your name on the record and make sure you're in agreement with what's been explained so far.
Okay, my name is Aculino Miguel Robledo, and I agreed to pay.
And that was $5,360, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yep, within 30 days. That's your understanding? Okay, so ordered. Very good.
For the other case on the property was CE 23020280, cited for sod in the yard, sod in the swale, and outdoor storage. It was ordered on 5/3/23 to comply by 6/2/23. Fine started on 6/5/23. It's a daily fine of $100 a day. Ran for 427 days. Comply date was 8/5/24, and the current fine is $42,700. And once again, we reached an agreement prior to this meeting for a reduction to $4,270. He's also a new owner. He's not the owner he wasn't the owner when the property was cited.
Okay, and then you're correct, your understanding is this one will be reduced to $4,270?
Yes.
Is that also within 30 days? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so ordered, very good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 33 for 900 20th Street, CE 2002027.
Mark Joyce, City of West Palm Beach, 920th Street, KCE 2002029. Property was cited for address characters, rotted wood, paint, boarded windows, broken windows, and overgrowth. It was ordered on 6/17/2020 to comply by 8/16/2020. The fine started on 8/17/2020. It's a daily fine of $100. It ran for 347 days. The comply date was 7/30/21, and the current fine is $34,700. And the city has reached an agreement with the owner's attorney, Mrs. Clemens, who's here today, to reduce the lien to $5,000 with 1 month to pay.
$5,000 in 30 days.
Good afternoon, that is correct.
Okay, so ordered, very good. I love it when you guys work these out.
Thank you.
And then we have a case, let's see. I guess number 38 for 930 35th Street, CE 24041815 will be rescheduled.
Rescheduled. All right, I think that covers everything on the agenda then. Is there anything else for the good of the order before we adjourn? No, then it's about 12:15. I have 12:13 on my, and 12:15 in the chambers. Either way, we are adjourned.